Hello everyone, for this week's discussion board I will comment on the overall experience reading everyone's presentation and sharing my insights on my own presentation. For this discussion, I will attempt to answer the following questions such as 1. What strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats were recurring and/or surprising? 2. How effective were the recommendations that were made? What might other actions be considered? 3. What 2 insights into succession planning did you gain from the presentations? I really enjoyed reading Kevin's presentation. It was very visually creative. Also, I relate to his discussion on Naval Facilities Engineering Command. It is built on a system much as the Army, where the constant development of turning ordinary people to leaders, and leaders to better leaders is important. I also learned that their leadership development program offers each individual candidate the ability to customize their experience to develop their leadership skills through a robust program of training, rotations, interviews, access to leadership, mentoring, and a greater perspective of the organization. Overall, there were no distinctions between how the Army planned its succession plan and the Navy. To me, that is a great strength to have as an organization. Having looked at others' presentations, their SWOT is fairly standard. I believe when you look at the overall pros and cons, everyone is going to have a variant degree and perspectives on what makes an organization business strategic plan and/or succession plan, good or bad. Having looked at Kevin's, and knowing how some government organizations operate, I can see the contract and government work as being very mundane, with constant meetings that go nowhere on many occasions, and, if it is anything like the Army, it is PowerPoint hell for several hours per day. This, of course, can cause boredom, but people stay because of the perks and benefits government organizations have. For my case study, I discussed an apparel company called Zappos. This organization by far is innovative and creative out most companies I have learned about. For instance, their 10 core values are what drives their company culture. Their strengths are focused on Zappos employees' happiness, which transcends to their customers. It is almost like the saying happy wife, happy life. That is the theory they use, and it works. Now I was surprised to learn that their CEO Tony Hsieh was not a believer in succession planning, which also makes it a weakness in my opinion. While Zappos does really well with setting their employees up for success, I think because Zappos emphasizes on having the right fit for their work culture, Zappos misses out on potential leaders or employees who might not be the happy-go-lucky person all of the time, but possesses other attributes such as leadership to make a successful company. I also believe that as human beings, we are not always going to come to work cheerful, which I think can build a false reason to be there. For this reason, I think it is a weakness for Zappos and any other company who stresses one kind of behavior at work. In all, everyone's presentations were awesome, insightful, and very informative, especially learning about the different organizations such as Costco that Kayla and Brian had discussed, or Kelly's discussion on U.S. Oil in Tacoma, Washington. While most succession plans were similar in its description, each presentation did have their own distinctions too. Thank you for sharing your insights and perspectives.